Hey guys, this is James from Investing and Testing again, doing a review of another person's resume that they sent me as part of this LinkedIn post that I'm doing. I'll be doing more of these throughout, I guess, the next week. Gonna see how we go, see if people are still interested. So yeah, let's just jump into this and see what people think. So right away, I don't like this one as much as the previous one. It's just black and white. Well, I guess with some blue. The name's not, this part just isn't as nicely formatted. I wish the name was bigger. What else have we got? I will say sometimes these are all actual links, which is good and bad. It makes it much nicer for me if I want to check out his GitHub. But at the same time, it's also something that can be picked up by one of these applicant tracker systems, in which case it might disguise your CV. So I think this needs to be, I think in general he should use a better template. I've talked about this in the course, so if you're interested in this, jump on it. It's free. What else have we got? So career objective. This is fine. Usually I'd just call this a summary. I have more than two years and 4 months experience. This is really bad. So first off, he's randomly capitalized this. As soon as he says I've got more than 2 years, 4 months, then it makes me realize how inexperienced he is, if that makes sense. I'd rather he just talked about here what he accomplished. You don't need to state how long you've been working in the field, right? You can just state what you've accomplished and then what you're trying to accomplish. I do like this. I like the fact that he's bolded some of his core skills, especially if he changes these based on the job that he's applying for. So I haven't seen this before, so I'm going to have to go through it as you guys go through it. Again, like this is good, bolding things. I like the fact that he has, I guess this is essentially a skills section. He's at least saying like these are the skills I have experience with. Chessalts, I've never heard of this. Hopefully that's correct. I would split some of this stuff out, like good experience in programming languages like Java. I'd prefer that this was almost like a table with programming experience, and then like maybe if he wants to be more generic, he can say like object-oriented languages, and then put IE Java. To me, this makes it look like he just has Java experience. This is fine. And again, like this could be split up into like programming experience, reporting experience, defect tracking tools, and it'll just make it easier for me to read. Knowledge of continuous integration and build management tools such as Jenkins Build Server, Maven, Git, GitHub. Yeah, I guess that's good. I'm not so sure I'd call Git and GitHub build management tools or continuous integrations. Handle different versions of source code. Yep. See, I think I'd prefer that this was like, and again, there's more detail on the course. I'd prefer that this was like a skills section and then like a high level achievement section where we could put down like some of the really good achievements that he's made during the course of his career and split it up like that. It would just make it easier. It would read cleaner for me. And, like I could quite easily see, okay, these are the tools he has experience with, and okay. I should probably look below. Okay, so he's essentially just duplicating the exact same thing, which is not good. You're more likely to mistake one of them. His WebDriver here is, I can't remember if WebDriver is like this or the space. I feel like it's no space. But like straight away I can see inconsistencies. And again, if he only had one, he'd only have to look at one spot. Again, he's got full stops randomly and no full stops. So we've got like a full stop here in this sentence, no full stop in these two sentences. So there's inconsistency, which is obviously not good. And even in here, you've got inconsistency, some full stops missing. Programming language is core Java. I think you would just call this Java. I can't imagine why you would call it core Java unless I'm missing something. I mean, thankfully, like this is probably the main language that test engineers need, so that's good. I don't think you need like maybe Linux is good to put in, and maybe you can even put it like in a scripting language that you're familiar with, like Bash or whatever. I don't think you need to say you have Windows experience when you're looking for a job. Like how many people are actually going to be looking at this? If you're applying for jobs where they specifically want you to be able to build out pipelines, then maybe Linux experience is worthwhile. Same with browsers, right? Like this is just information that's cluttering your CV and making it difficult for me to work out exactly what your core skills are. Again, Selenium IDE, unless that's specifically in the job that you're posting for, just get rid of this. I don't care. I wouldn't call an Eclipse a test tool. TestNG is probably fine there. Yeah, the rest of this is fine. Again, like I would much prefer this as a nice template. You're going to have to cut a lot of this back, right? Like this is 4 pages. This should be 1 at most. Oh God, I'm going to say 2 at most. I personally prefer 1, but yeah, you can maybe go 2 if you don't feel comfortable doing that. I know you're essentially trying to pad your CV to make it look like you have more experience. To be honest, it just makes it more obvious that you don't have experience. Okay, so onto experiences. So worked as a test automation engineer, automation test engineer? That's a weird title. Test automation engineer seems more correct, but maybe that was your title. I think worked as is incorrect. I'd probably have that as like just title, and you can format this in a better way. Because you have so little experience, I would seriously consider just having years in here. It'll actually make it look like you have more experience. I don't care about the project. I'm sorry, like unless it's like really well known, like unless you worked on Chrome for Google, nobody cares about this, and it's just I said this in the last review. Anything that is in your CV that the person is not going to be impressed by or is looking for is essentially cluttering and making it more difficult for them to find that detail. Let's say, I know I'm going back. Let's say I've got 50 CVs in front of me. How long do you think I'm going to spend on average looking at each CV? Honestly, like probably I'm going to spend 30 seconds at most. So that's a good thing about highlighting things. That's also a good thing about having just 1 page, and that's a good thing about cutting out a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to scroll through, and at least this stuff is going to be highlighted to me. That's why it needs to be customized based on the job, right? So if you're highlighting the right things, that would be great because then it stands out. But that's why you also don't want browsers because that's just cluttering it, right? If my eye goes to that, then that's just a waste of time. Same with the project. I don't need to know anything about this. What I need to know is what you've done on that and what your accomplishments were. So yeah, let's have a look. This is weird. In this app dot, we have to add customers and vendors like that. This doesn't even. I would use a tool like Grammarly. You've probably got a whole bunch of spelling mistakes and grammatical things that could be improved. In this app, like I don't like this at all. I don't think you should even have the purpose of the application, right? I'm currently leading QA and testing activities as the description for what you're doing at that company. And then accomplishments should be in here. Again, I don't love having technologies in here. I can see why you might. And team size is definitely something you should remove. That's not going to help you at all. And even if it was like a large team, would I care? Not really. Responsible for creating new functional test cases and running manual test cases. That was good. Implemented hybrid driven with page object model automation framework using Selenium as Java. Dude, that's not good English at all. I don't think people care about hybrid driven anymore. Like maybe they do, and again, this is sort of like area specific. So maybe I think you're applying for jobs in India, right? Plus 9-1, I think is India. Yeah, Bangalore. So yeah, you can get rid of that. Implemented a page object model automation framework using Selenium and Java. Is all you need to say there. Using Selenium as Java language, that doesn't make any sense. So this needs a lot of work. Perform parallel and cross-browser testing on different browsers, like where multiple tests can run using, again, like this is poor English. And it might be, like, I know that English is probably not your first language. I'm guessing that you're working in an English environment though, so you can't have any mistakes there. Again, I would prefer here that you said performed parallel and cross-browser testing. You don't need to say on different browsers, that's implied. And then I would probably put, like, for both of these, how it improved the testing process. Give me some stats. Give me a reduction in test runs. Give me a number of bugs found or something, so I can be like, oh, yep, I know that this guy has managed to, some accomplishment that's going to make you stand out. Prepared system understanding document for the client-side application. I don't know what this means. It's not the best English. What could you put in here instead? I actually don't know because I don't know what this is. For the system, you could say like documented the system functionality for the client or something along those lines. But I don't know whether that is if you're looking for a test engineering job, that's something that maybe wouldn't matter to them. It would depend on the role that you're applying for. I would change that sentence. So perform system testing and regression testing to check the compatibility of new functionality with the existing function. This should be with the existing functionality rather than functionalities of the application using Selenium. I would say using the test automation framework, and that's sort of like built into. I guess that's fine. All right. Executed the scripts on new build and analyze log files. Again, like this is bad English. I don't exactly know what this means either. Like executed scripts, what scripts? On the new build, that's fine. And analyze the log files. What are you analyzing the log files for? And how did this help? Because at the moment, I don't really know what you're doing here, and I don't know if it would help me. Like maybe this is something amazing that you've done that would actually help a lot of people. Maybe it helped you find a whole bunch of bugs. But I don't know at all, and no one reading that will know. Worked with developers to update the defects, resolve them, and track their status using Jira. So I would say just, okay, you could put coordinated here if you were leading the team like you said above, because that just sounds better. I would also talk about just like defect management or defect tracking rather than talking essentially about that here, and then say using Jira. I would probably only ever put one thing about this though. Like I would never put that in the second job because it's sort of like if you're a tester, that's what you're doing. Participated in QA weekly meetings and various other meetings and discusses enhancements and modification request issues and defects in the application and daily status. So again, like this is really poor English. This needs to be rewritten, and I don't think it matters. Right? Like you participated in meetings. Okay, that's great. I was expecting you to participate in meetings. That's like, if you weren't doing that, then there would be something really, really wrong. This is not anything that is going to make you stand apart, and it's not anything that people are going to be looking for. So for me, this is something that I would remove like within a second. if you wanted to keep it, and we'll go through maybe there is a reason why you want to keep it, then how would you change this? First of all, like the grammar is off, so you need to look at that. Participated in development and like software development related meetings, where we discussed the enhancement and modification, like change requests, or where we what's the defect? We'll triage defects, during which we discussed enhancement and modifications and triage defects, and updated the status of the project. Would sound slightly better. Again, it's sort of awkward because you're trying to jump everything into this one sentence. Personally, I'd just remove it, but otherwise you've got to rewrite it. And I'm not rewriting it for you. So this is where, like I'm saying, if this was 2020 till present, I think that should be till present rather than now. It just sounds nicer. This would be 2019 to 2020. That would look like you've been employed longer. What would these other ones be? This would be like 2019 to 2019. This would be 2017 to 2018. It would just look like you had more experience. Again, that's up to you. I don't think this should be experiences. Like, this is weird to me. You're putting experiences once, and then all of your experiences should be underneath it. I think this should be experience rather than experiences as well. I missed that before. And then each one of these should be like a sub area under that. Let's go. So yeah, this shouldn't be here. It should essentially just be like maybe a blank line. But no, honestly, get a better template than this. That's a better place to start. Test Automessi. I'm guessing that's a company name. This underline is incorrect. Like, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed with this. I'm gonna rush through the rest of it because I feel like I'm just picking on you, and that's doesn't seem nice. Project 1 and 2. That, like, who cares? Sorry. The main aim of this project is to provide end-to-end automation of our project. The main aim of this project is to provide end-to-end automation of our project. So you're creating a project to automate a project? I think you need to talk about how you build up a test automation project here, potentially. I actually don't know what that means. So maybe you're building up a job portal where we do end-to-end automation as part of our business productivity, and the user can save their time. In this project, we handle API and web automation using Selenium, Java, REST Assured. Again, like, people do not care about this. Unless you're doing robotic process automation, which I guess maybe you could be talking about, maybe you should remove this and just talk about, look, that this is what you did at this project, right? Yeah, just talk about, look, this. So get rid of the projects and just have the summary of what you did, which was building up a test automation framework and tests using Selenium, Java, and REST Assured. Probably you should say API tests in there because everyone loves that. Okay, TTT is an online project. Register, leaves, blah, blah, blah. Teams become... Okay, yeah, that can all go. That means nothing to me as someone looking to hire you. Roles and responsibilities. Again, I would like you to have achievements in here, but let's see, like, how did the functional testing change things? Like, what did it decrease? How many tests were you able to create a day? Team size, get rid of. Technologies, these are all linking back to your other stuff. Like, you're just essentially duplicating the data and making it annoying for me to read through. I created test automation scripts in Java and Selenium. That's fine. Prepared system understanding. Is this the exact same thing, or am I going crazy? Okay, yeah, that is literally the exact same line. I still don't know what that means. We've talked about that. Perform system testing and regression testing. I don't know. I don't think that should be capitalized. To check the compatibility of new functionality with the existing function. That should be functionality. We've talked about that. It literally just looks like a copy paste, or like similar. Provide functional bugs and automation tests to the client. I don't know what this means. Provided functional? That doesn't make any sense. And you provided bugs? Like that sounds weird. Like, oh, bug reports, I guess. And just, I'd say bug reports and test automation results, maybe. And I don't know what the functional test reports are. Functional reports? That sentence is just weird. I think it's good that you're doing like this documentation, but your English has to be better. Wow, your English needs to be better. Yeah, this needs to be reworded so it explains more what you're doing. All right, last couple of pages. We're halfway through. This is taking longer than expected. Okay, Electronics Corporation. I don't think you need of India. Like that should be fairly obvious. Again, the project. Again, like doesn't matter. Maybe it does for this one if it's really well known. Currently leading. So you're not currently doing that. So that's not true. What the fuck? Is this the exact same copy again? So you can see why I'm saying you've literally, like, this is just duplication upon duplication upon duplication, and it's going to make me, I'd like to know what results you're getting from this. Like, how is this going? How many tests did you automate? Like, what reduction? Again, look through my course because it's got details on this. Just the free one. You don't need to pay anything. It's got details on how you should be formatting this. I'm not going to go more into it. That's just a copy paste of above, it seems. That makes me seriously think about hiring you. And you can see why, like, this could be one page because, like, this just all goes. That just all goes. All that goes. Okay. NVIDIA. Okay, cool. NVIDIA Graphics PVT Limited. Like, that's just not needed. Everyone knows who NVIDIA is. I don't know why you need private limited. Workdays, again, role. That could be role, or I guess we've already talked about this. Project, again, we don't care. Yeah, dude, this is obviously just copy paste. Like, no one even looks at this as going to hire you for sure. Team size 5. Again, just don't care. You need to cut this down massively. This is, you've got to read through this. Okay, this is where I'm not sure what you should do. In New Zealand, we would not put these percentages. I don't know if this is high or low. High or low. I also don't know what ET&T is. I'm guessing this is Bachelor of Engineering, Electronics, and I actually don't know what NT is. I might be completely wrong about that. I'd much prefer that you just put like your degree and the year in the school. Don't think this matters, don't think that matters, don't think that matters. In fact, I think that putting this type of stuff is like always bad. It can just end poorly. Language is known, that actually might be useful. In New Zealand, that might be useful if you're applying at certain companies, but in most companies it's just English. Same with, in US, sometimes Spanish might be useful. I actually like putting hobbies in here. I like putting something more interesting than just cooking, like maybe specific foods or I don't know. I've talked about this in another video in the course. So yeah, that's something that, and again, like this is just not good. All right, here's a full stop, here's no full stop, and it's just super obvious. There's a space in the full stop, or is it just my screen's dirty? Like all of this just looks poorly formatted. Is that 2 spaces or 1? there's something weird going on with the either spaces or just size of this spacing, I guess. This is not great either, like space, comma, space. It should just be 18th of Feb, comma 1995 if you really want to put a comma there. A comma and then a space. Actually, I'm guessing that this is in a lot of spaces. Oh, it is. No, space, comma, space. But no space there. Space, no, space, comma, then no space. Like this needs to be consistent. You are straight out not like maybe you will get a roll, but I like this wouldn't get past me in terms of a CV, but this would go straight in the no pile. Like there is a good chance actually let's check. Oh no, let's leave the GitHub. I might end up doing GitHub reviews later, but that's going to take too much time. This is already longer than I expected. I hope this helps. I realize there's a lot to do. But if you've done some of the stuff that you're talking about, then there are jobs out there for you. You just need to clean it up. All right, so thanks everyone. This has been James from Investing and Testing. If you're looking for help like this, I've got a post up there where I will review your CV or your resume. Otherwise, we've got the free course, which will help guide you through this. Cool. Thanks everyone.